The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Over 20 years ago, in the city of Yerushalayim, there lived a wonderful, young, vibrant, energetic Yiddish mama, a Jewish mother. And then sadly, one day she contracted a very serious illness. And by the time the illness had run its course, the woman was but a shadow of her former self. She was bedridden. She needed constant care. And she couldn't be the mother to her children that she always was, the wife to her husband that she was capable of being, and thus began a very dark chapter in this family's life. Initially there was hope that maybe there was a cure, maybe the illness would reverse its course and she'd go back to being the person that she so rightfully deserved to be. But it wasn't meant to be. And as the years passed, 5 years and 10 years and 15 years, people threw up their hands and said, Nebuch, sad, it's unfortunate, it's tragic. No one ever dreamed that anything could happen to this woman. And then COVID hit Eretz Yisrael, and the family was petrified. She was low resistance, she was high risk, and they did everything within their power to keep COVID away from her. But it wasn't meant to be. Somehow she contracted COVID, and things went from bad to worse, from dark to even darker. And the woman had to be intubated and ventilated, and things were touch and go, and Klal Yisrael davened for this woman. And somehow, miraculously, she recovered from the COVID. But that wasn't all. As she recovered from COVID, everyone began to realize that her previous symptoms, this debilitating illness that she had, slowly but surely began to dissipate. And it wasn't long before she was walking around out of bed. And within a short period of time, she was back to the young, vibrant, energetic mother that she had been 2 decades earlier. The doctors were scratching their head for an explanation. How is it even possible that someone like this recovers? And the only theory that they were able to come up with was that perhaps the COVID attacked the disease that was there previously. And then when she recovered from the COVID, she was totally cured. Incredible story. But the truth is that this story is the story of Klal Yisrael. Because you see, over 2,000 years ago, we were a young, beautiful, energetic people with an amazing homeland. We had Eretz Yisrael, and we had an amazing epicenter of Eretz Yisrael, which was the Beis HaMikdash, where there was a Kirvas Elokim, which brought unity to Klal Yisrael, and things were perfect, and we anticipated a bright and brilliant future. But then sadly, we contracted a terrible illness, call it Sinas Chinam, other Averis, and the Ribbono Shel Olam took away from us our vibrance, our youth, our energy, and we were sent into Gullus, and life was difficult. And at least initially, we still hoped that maybe the illness would reverse its course. Maybe there would be some type of cure. But as the hundreds of years passed, and those hundreds turned into thousands, everyone resigned themselves and said, Nebuch, Gullus is our reality. This is our existence. We're never going to recover. And just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, the Gullus intensified. We look around the world around us, and 90% of our brothers and sisters don't even know that it's Tisha B'Av. They don't even know what a Beis HaMikdash is. They don't know what a Churban is. They don't know what closeness to Hashem is. It couldn't get even worse. The Jewish people are almost on Eretz Davai. They're almost in the last parts of their life. But then we need to realize that the same way with this woman, no one ever dreamed that she would ever reverse this terrible course, that she'd ever have health and youth and vibrancy and energy. The Ribbono Shel Olam has it within his power and desires to bring Geula to Klal Yisrael. And even though for thousands of years we never dreamed of this Geula, but it could happen. K'heref ayin, like the blink of an eye, and we can have Yeshua, and we can have an incredible future in Klal Yisrael.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org